Nietzsche didn't always reject Schopenhauer. At 21, he had a portrait of him hanging in his room, not just as decoration, not just because he dug the dude's style. Schopenhauer was his philosophical goddamn idol, until he wasn't. Because when Nietzsche flipped the fuck switch, he didn't just move on. He burned Schopenhauer's ideas to the ground, pissed on the ashes, and called it an intellectual cleansing. And yet, still, every single day, you're making a Nietzsche versus Schopenhauer choice. Hey, rockers! This isn't some dusty-ass philosophy feud. It's a breakup so brutal it makes heavyweight title fights look like a friendly handshake. So what the fuck pushed Nietzsche over the edge? And more importantly, which side the hell are you really on? Are you ready to rock? Let's rock that wisdom! Before we get to why Nietzsche turned, let's break down what the fuck he was into before he set it all on fire. Schopenhauer's big idea, the will. The world isn't guided by reason. The world isn't fair, logical, or purposeful. The world is just one big, blind, restless hunger. Everything you do, every decision, every craving, every goddamn emotion is just the will inside you grasping for more. And guess what? It never ends. You get what you want. Now you want something else. You avoid suffering. Something else will take its place.
The life of man is a struggle for existence with the certainty of being defeated.
Ever had life kick you in the teeth, spit in your face, and walk off like you didn't even matter? Schopenhauer would say,
Fuck it, detach from it. Don't chase happiness. Don't fight pain. Just step back.
And Nietzsche? At first, he was all in until one day he woke up and thought,
What the actual fuck?
What shattered Nietzsche's devotion? What made him flip off? At first, Nietzsche was all in on Schopenhauer, portrait on the wall, books on the shelf, soaking up his ideas like a sponge in a beer pint. But then, the cracks started to form. What once felt like brutal honesty now smelled a little too much like throwing in the fucking towel. And when Nietzsche breaks up with a philosopher, he doesn't just move on. He starts writing savage hit pieces. In Beyond Good and Evil, Nietzsche went off, calling Schopenhauer's worldview
a sign that something is on the wane, that the powers of resistance are declining.
Translation: this dude's entire philosophy is just a long-winded way of saying, I give up, fuck it. Nietzsche accused Schopenhauer of being a coward, turning his back on life and peddling the same anti-life values as Christianity, only without the convenient guilt trips.
Schopenhauer is hostile to life, therefore he sees morality as denial of the will to live.
In Nietzsche's eyes, Schopenhauer was basically the guy at the party who sits in the corner, refusing to dance, and lecturing everyone on why happiness is just a fucking illusion. But Nietzsche didn't just reject Schopenhauer, he saw him as a poison infecting society itself. Nietzsche didn't just hate Schopenhauer's ideas, he hated what they did to people. He saw Schopenhauer's philosophy infecting the culture, universities, and the very mindset of a whole generation, and he wasn't having any of that shit.
Schopenhauer's morality is the great danger of a great culture.
Schopenhauer's philosophy wasn't just pessimistic, it was downright contagious. It gave people an excuse to stop giving a flying fuck. Instead of seeing struggle as fuel, they used it as a reason to retreat into a pathetic safe space. And Nietzsche, he wasn't just a critic, he was a goddamn builder. He went full-on war mode and built a philosophy that flipped suffering on its goddamn head. Because if life is pain, Nietzsche's answer wasn't to sit back and sulk. This is where Nietzsche rips up the rulebook and writes his own. Instead of saying, life is suffering, so just suck it up and accept it, Nietzsche says,
life is suffering, and that's exactly why you should fucking embrace it.
Because pain, that's where you grow. Struggle, that's where you find power. Obstacles, that's where you build yourself up into a fucking force to be reckoned with. Nietzsche completely rejected the idea of withdrawing from the will. Instead, he introduced the will to power, the idea that suffering isn't something to escape, it's something to weaponize. The strongest people aren't those who dodge pain. They're the ones who turn it into fuel for their fire. And yeah, you've heard this one before, but now you know where it comes from.
What does not kill me makes me stronger.
But here's the real question. Where do you stand in this debate? So here's the deal. You're already in the middle of this goddamn debate. Every single day, you're making a Nietzsche versus Schopenhauer choice. Do you step back, detach, and say, fuck it, none of this matters, like Schopenhauer? Or do you take life's brutal punches, eat them for breakfast, with bacon, and hit back even harder, like Nietzsche? Well, maybe sometimes you need Schopenhauer's fuck this noise detachment, a moment to chill, catch your breath, and step back from the chaos. And other times, you need Nietzsche's fuck it, let's go fire, a battle cry that propels you to stand up and fight. The real move? Just know when to use which tool. Take these ideas, challenge them, tear them apart, rebuild them your way, and make your own damn philosophy.